Welcome back. So we're about 11 days into the new year, into 2023. Today is January the 11th. And I wanted to talk about the intellectual dark web. If you don't know what this is, I'm going to leave a link down below to the Wikipedia page that explains this. But it's a group of people who are morally and intellectually superior to the rest of us. So this is people like Brett and Eric Weinstein, Douglas Murray, Dave Rubin, Ben Shapiro. Like the list goes on and on. It's the usual cast of suspects. And I started thinking about when these people were living in relative obscurity, when they weren't a household name. These people were pretty normal. They had pretty normal thoughts and ideologies. But as soon as they became famous, like something flipped. It's like a switch was turned on in their brain that now they just spew nonsense. That's literally all they do. Like you would think that with people that had this much brain trust between all of them, that we'd be able to solve homelessness, world hunger, tackle big situations. But they don't. These people bloviate over the most nonsensical garbage. It's literally a waste of time. The thing that they preach about how stupid you are and how I am is the nonsense they dabble in. It's mind-blowing. It's as if these people have reached a level of enlightenment that you and I will never achieve. Like Neo. And they've become Neo. They've reached this level of enlightenment that they've become so smart that they've circled all the way back around to becoming complete freaking idiots. Peterson, Twitter, nonsensical tweets, emotionally disturbed tweets. And I just don't get it. I don't understand what these people are trying to do. I don't understand their message. Because here's the sad thing. For a lot of these people, some of the stuff that they talk about, they're right. There are things that we need to fix. But listen, this much, maybe this much. So I'm not giving them a lot of credit, but the problem is their message gets lost in all of this nonsense. When you hear Joe Rogan talk about Alex Jones, he talks about how, he got so many things right. Yeah, like 3 things. Okay, 3 things, but the thousands of things he got wrong, outweigh those 3 things. Like if where would Alex be in an alternate history, alternate universe, if he'd have focused more on that stuff, brought light to important things? But oh no, these people always go off the rails with their insanity and want to separate you from your money. I talk about this all the time, that these people have become the new televangelists. They're on the screen, on YouTube, on anywhere, Rumble, wherever they can go, their own websites. I know the secret. I know the path to enlightenment. I have the wisdom, and you can only get it if you watch me and if you subscribe, pay, donate, whatever to the cause. To fight against the man. That with us you will find freedom where there is no freedom. It's like, we're all free. I don't understand this nonsense that we live in a world that lacks any kind of freedom. I don't know what delusional world that these people live in. And the people that follow them, I feel for them. Because they buy into this nonsense. And their characters. All of these people are playing a character. When you look at like Douglas Murray, when I've seen him in the past on podcasts and things like that, he seemed pretty rational and normal. But now whenever I see him like on Joe Rogan, he plays this uptight, snooty, just it's freaking annoying. I can't get past it. They're playing characters. Jordan Peterson is now Emmett Kelly, where he's crying at everything. Oh, I'm just, I have no faith in the world. Like, what's going on? Or he's so touched, or Jordan is so touched by something that he's crying. So he's become the crying man. I don't know. A lot of this is it to me goes towards all these crackpots that I talk about, all these scammers. That why are these people wasting their time and their energy and yours and mine and everybody else's with this psychobabble garbage nonsense? They can't even talk. They can't even have a conversation. To me, these people are you ever know somebody where like you ask them what time it is and they tell you how to build a watch? Like the answer, you ask them a yes or no question and they can't, just answer yes or no. They have to give a 14 paragraph essay on whatever you ask them. They just bloviate. They love the sound of their own voice. And what happens, their message gets lost because it's just all this garbage, all this psychobabble nonsense, stuff they've made up. I was watching a Sam Cedar video this morning, and he was talking about how Ben Shapiro has come up with a new math equation. I'll put the link to all this stuff in the description. It's like Ben has gotten so brilliant, he now has new math. He's that enlightened. I'm like, what? What is this nonsense? This is the most stupid, asinine stuff I've ever seen in my life. Instead of talking, engaging, trying to find solutions to problems, these people are just constantly in the problem. You look back at Alan Watt, right? Who's deemed to be this great, brilliant mind. This man used to be a minister. Went on, and listen, I'm not going to give you the whole context of his life. Again, there's a great video that I'll link that kind of explains all this. But he was like one time like a minister and went on some enlightenment walk or whatever, trying to find the meaning of life, and just became a quack. Became like a hippie, long hair, bearded, Russell Brand. It's like, so Russell Brand is playing Alan Watt, but it's like these guys are all playing characters. They're not themselves. They're not being real to them. Last year, I did a video on Russell Brand saying whatever happened to Russell Brand, because there was a part of Russell that I enjoyed about 4 years ago. There was an episode where he was on Joe Rogan and he was talking about peace and love and harmony. And I was like, I like this Russell. I can get behind this Russell. I can enjoy this Russell. And I did. I was watching his podcast, listening to things he had to say, not on a regular basis, but just tuning in every once in a while to see what he had to say. And he would have, great people on his show and have thoughtful conversations. And then he snapped. Something happened, in the last 2 years. And I think we all know what it is. The last 2 years, it made a lot of people run to this unhinged, right reality, where it's just now it's this fast talking, almost Baptist minister proselytizing all these conspiracy theories. It's just absolutely insane to me. And when you look at, they all love Ayn Rand, but then they contradict themselves because then they say, well, then there's a problem with people who are atheists. It's just, are you feel the same way that I do? Or it's like, God, these people I wish they'd shut up. Now I'm all in for free speech, and I think everybody should be able to say whatever they want to say to an extent until it starts hurting other people. Then that's kind of where I have an issue. Right. And when these people are taking advantage of people, because that seems to be their biggest audience, is the people who are disillusioned. They're looking for meaning. They're wanting to know that they're not terminally unique. And so somehow they get turned on to these people and they've said the right things to them and they've pulled them in. Because they're not looking for subscribers. They're not looking for followers. They're looking for disciples. And that's the part that scares the crap out of me. Where it's like all this nonsense has become a cult. Like when you enjoy something, whether it's music or TV, whatever genre of anything is, you're just like a fan. Or like if you're a Star Wars fan, if you're a Star Trek fan, if you're a sports fan, you're just a casual fan. But with this stuff, it has become like a cult. You got to watch every video. What are they talking about today? Ooh, who are they? Who are they? What conspiracy are we going to unravel today? it's just a waste of time. It becomes this nonsensical mess. And I know I keep saying that word, but it literally is the thing that pollutes my mind with how can these guys, if they really want to create change, how can they do a better job? And for me, I think it's like, don't be so crazy. Why does everything have to be so hyperbolic? Why does everything have to be so over the top? They use these words over and over again to the point where they have no meaning. To me, it's like with the news, when everything was breaking news. Like every story that came up was dun, 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 breaking news. To where it's like, well, now this isn't important because everything is breaking news. That's why we don't trust the media. And it's why a lot of people, I'm hoping, are starting to not trust these guys. Because every day, it's just more extremism. You'll never believe what's happening and you can't see it. And I've got to tell it to you. Ugh. To me, it just becomes exhausting with this nonsense. So I don't know. Like last week, 2 weeks ago, I talked about, coming into the new year, I'd asked all you to do something, to add one thing to your list of your New Year's resolutions, and that was to be more pragmatic. And I'm seeing the younger generations, and I feel like they are. I'm asking everybody to do this. Just be more open-minded to be able to have your BS meter, if you need to go have it adjusted, maybe, I wish there was a thing where you could do that, where you could go have your BS meter adjusted so you could have a better sense of the craziness out there. Because I'm just constantly perplexed how people fall into this trap of this stuff, of this insanity. Sunday night, Mr. Beat, who I had on a few months ago as a guest, had RM Brown on a live stream. And he was asking RM if he thought that people like Ben Shapiro actually believe in the stuff that they say. And neither of them could really come up with an answer. And I think they do. My answer would have said, I think they do. I honestly think that they've told themselves this stuff so much that they honestly believe it. Like it's a delusion. I mean, like I said, Ben's created his own math now. I don't know. What the hell are we doing? That's what I'm constantly talking about on here is what are we even doing? How are we progressing? At times I feel like we're on the right path and things are going good. And then I see some of this stuff and I'm like, we've gone off the rails. I'm not a nihilist. I look at Jordan Peterson and a lot of these people and I think they're nihilists. Life has no meaning. That's the kind of Alan Watts nonsense. I think there are bigger things at stake. I want to live. I want to be happy. I want less drama in my life. So I try to stay away from a lot of this garbage. I even hate talking about this because I feel like there's better things that we could be working on. Do you feel the same way that I do? I mean, do you watch any of these people? I have a feeling like most of the people that are watching my videos probably aren't watching those people's stuff. Right? That's what the analytics tell me. That you're probably drawn more to things like what I talk about. But do you have friends that, have fallen into this stuff? Because these people fall for multi-level marketing schemes. They fall victims to, a lot of these, like back in the day, there was like the chain emails and stuff. They're the same people that get hacked all the time on social media. Oh, my account got hacked. Heck, because you're probably doing something stupid. You probably clicked on some link or something that, put a virus on your phone or your computer. Because they don't think. And these people talk about how we need more critical thinking. And that's what they are. They're critical thinkers. Yet they never fix anything. They don't have any solutions to anything. And my solution is be more pragmatic. Stop believing this nonsense. Don't believe anything. Don't believe everything everybody says. Hell, don't believe me. Look into stuff. And I don't mean like find one resource. Do a little bit more than that. It's like a few months ago, I did a video about is the internet being erased? Well, it's not. And I explained that. Jimmy Corsetti made a video saying that they're trying to hide information from us. Like, oh, here we go again. Even though you can find copious amounts of porn and everything else on the internet, it's being erased. They're trying to control the information so we can't see anything, so we can't learn. I don't know. Anyway, listen, thanks for listening to me rant today. This is one of these things where I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, about how the intellectual dark web to me seems like it's more like a ship of fools. That these people aren't as smart as they think they are. They're not as smart as you or everybody else might think they are. Last year, I did a video about the quarterback from the Green Bay Packers. But he said he was a genius because he was great on Celebrity Jeopardy. Like, yeah, but they only ask you simple questions, like what's 1 + 1, so that makes him a genius. This is the same guy who lied to everybody about getting inoculated. Ugh. Anyway, I'll talk to you next week. Have a wonderful day. Listen, if you enjoy my show, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and share, and we'll talk to you next time. Take care.